Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Myth-Busting Locksmith. Now, yesterday I posted 3 videos in a series, and when we came to the end of the last video about my emergency box, we covered an awful lot about keys. And I realised when I had done that, I hadn't addressed Mortice lock keys, or this style of key here, which most of which, except for these and these and these, will fit in Mortice locks. This big beast is my Mortice lock box. It has all the picks and tools and everything I need, including this range of keys, and it is the range of keys that we are going to go through today. Now, the first thing I'd like to highlight is I spoke to the Fire Brigade for Surrey and I spoke to the Fire Brigade for London, and neither were interested in the details that I'm going to explain to you. If you look around the country, from housing association houses to flats to council properties, railway station gates, other government and council properties, public parks and so on, you will find an awful lot of Fire Brigade padlocks, and it's very clear to see because they are marked FB. So, padlocks specifically, you will find these, and these are 3 different keys that will open Fire Brigade padlocks in all of the places I have already mentioned. They are very recognisable, they are small, and they are the Mortice lock style. Also in the buildings and premises I have mentioned, including the cupboards and the storage units and outside warehouses, you will have these 3 Fire Brigade lock keys, which are the long ones, or you will have the medium size here. So these 3 for locksmiths, go out, buy these, you will need these, these are an excellent purchase. Anybody else, don't buy them because that will be naughty and illegal and you really shouldn't be doing it. You heard that here first. But these are available on Amazon. I don't understand why. I did raise this, and as mentioned, the Fire Brigade were not interested, so you can go out and buy these for a few pounds, which really screams issues with me in regards to security and the sort of people that would want access to electrical boxes and so on. Now, the next thing I will say for hobby pickers and locksmiths alike is you will find most families, especially in our family and people with older members of the family, they will have a lot of wardrobes, cabinets, drawers, bureaus, other furniture and so on that will have keyholes in. So when you get the chance, do what I've done. Start hoovering up, collecting, finding, buying, however you can get hold of it, this style of keys. This will open bureaus, drawers, cabinets, wardrobes, all sorts of furniture. Don't let your relatives have furniture that's locked with no keys, and don't send it off to auction houses saying I don't know what it is in it because it's locked, because they will have keys like this. There are much more than this. This is just the beginning of my collection. These will open most things and you'll be able to find what's inside. You also may find little secret compartments in some of the old furniture, and you might find things that are valuable to your family that auction houses and antique shops will not tell you, but they will know exactly how to find it and get into it. These are the keys you want to start. You want to start building up a collection. There are literally hundreds out there. Buy them now. Right, if I move the box out the way. The next type of key you want to be looking at is keys for cases like this. This was a prop that I bought from a shop that specifically sells props, but back in the day these were very popular cases, and as you can see the type of lock here is quite unusual, and you'll of course recognise this type. And of course this type case is another very popular one with a very simple but effective keyhole lock on it. Nothing exciting inside these. These were bought for picking and training purposes, but again, you want to start collecting keys like this. These will open various cases like this. They come in all varieties and sizes. You'll see them from the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, all the way through to the 70s, and then the fashion died out. But they all have this style of lock. They're all slightly different. Start collecting these. eBay, antique shops, anywhere you can get your hands on them. There are literally hundreds. And for all the parents out there, I have hidden one of these on, but you will probably recognise this key. This opens little diaries that you can buy in the shops. They're fairly generic, very standard. They look like these, but these will open the little diaries if ever it is appropriate or relevant for health and safety and well-being of children to get into those. So again, start looking at those, start collecting those, put those in your collection. You will need them. Now, more for cupboard locks and other sorts of cabinets, you get a slightly longer key, more recognisable. These come from a cupboard lock, cost about £5. The design is the fact that the spring is very, very strong. So this key is thick, very simple but thick. And what makes it difficult to pick is the fact that the spring is very strong. So always handy to have a key. This again, almost identical, but again, the way that it's designed is it's hard to pick because if you use a piece of wire, it is likely to bend and or snap. So these are good for cupboards. Get some of these. Now, if you are picking battleship padlocks, and there are some other similar style padlocks that are very big and very heavy, and unfortunately the name escapes me, you need to start making heel toes, and heel toes are like this, where you literally have one part of a key at the end. So if I pick a random key like this, you filed all of this off right down to the end, so you just have that. Not for this key, but we will come to it. So what you do is you make one of these, and this is from Era 975, and you have a little piece of metal wire or strip, and if you know how to do it, and formal training is always the best way, they will teach you why this is so valuable. I have another one here for the Chubb 110 and the Era Sash. Again, same style. This is for the Era 976, that will do this. This is the Era Fortress, and these are heel toes. They are designed to manipulate the part of the padlock or the lock that will pull the bolt across, but you need a wire or a special metal strip that is slightly shaped, and if you know what you're doing, you put it down the shackle, you apply pressure in the right place, and you get one of these and you move it along the levers. This will move the levers along, and then in the right place it will enable the lock to open. So I think I started actually by saying it'll move the bolt across. Sorry, it won't move the bolt, it will lift the levers. The little metal strip that goes down like this will move the bolt across on a mechanism in the padlock. This key, I'll show you now, I literally got it just for fun. It comes from clearly a warded lock, you can tell by the gaps here. It's a very attractive looking key. It will unlikely serve any purpose, but I wanted to put it in my collection. Next, along with the Fire series, you want to get some of these. These will be the break glass unit release keys. You've either got the two pegs here, goes up, pulls down, make the fire alarm sound, and then you can reset it. Similar one here with one little peg, another style here, and this is a reset key for a panic alarm. But as they are in the Mortice lockbox and the firebox, they are worth mentioning. Now, people say to me, never ever throw away keys. So never throw away keys, because you really don't know when they come in useful. There are only a certain amount of keys made for certain locks, so when they did a series of 1 to 1,000, it would, or 100, it would then start again. So if you had a street with a certain amount of houses, you can guarantee your front door key would open theirs. Things are changing rapidly, but you always have that option that you will have a key that is going to open a lock you can't get in. So it's a little difficult for beginners, but I can look at most of these patterns and recognise how often these keys will appear to open people's locks. This is Era. These are for ASEC. This is Union. This is Apex, which is a new lock, and they are great fun to look at. They're great to dissect. They're really interesting to photograph. They're an absolute bugger to pick. I haven't succeeded yet. This is for Yale. These are CIO locks. This is Chubb, and I have a little blue box kit that you specifically need for picking Chubb locks. It is a genius kit. It was made by somebody who'd been a locksmith for 50 years and more, and it is a fantastic little kit. I'll show you at the end, but it does take proper training, but you'll get in Chubb locks every time. And now that Chubb have given up their patent, Zoo are copying their exact design, so you've gone from tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of locks that can be opened with a little blue box tool. I will show you at the end. This looks like almost like a blank key, and this is for a Rio lock, but again, this could be used as a jiggler to jiggle it around, pop it up and down, and try and manipulate or somehow open the lock so that you can get in it. This last one, which is also an era, and again it's got a slightly curved sort of base here, so you can always use these as little jigglers. You know, to jiggle, jump them up and down, try and manipulate the lock open. This one is slightly different. This is a Walsall safe lock. It's a 7-lever lock key, and your little gun cabinet locks will most likely have a key like this. Again, you never know when this is going to fit, so it's always worth having them. Now, something I did not get out before, but I should have done from the box because I didn't want to get everything out. Yes. We'll get out that. Right. Okay. Jiggler keys. I said before that there are only a certain amount of that type of lever combination for keys and locks that you can get. So these are jiggler keys. Anybody with a shed will probably recognise that it's completely uncut, and that will go in and go pop and open your lock straight up. But these are all designed to pop in your lock, to twist it and jiggle and sort of, you know, fiddle it around, and it will most likely open most, if not all. I have had great success with one of these, but specifically for non-curtained locks. If they are curtained locks, you're not going to get in with these because the curtain is designed against picking. So that is that. Right, let me move these out the way. There are many of these. They come in sets. These are the basics, but you could go nuts and buy them all day if you want to, or you could learn to pick locks. This is the little blue box tool. If you're a locksmith, buy one of these. Comes in a little blue box. It's known as a little blue box tool. I print out instructions, I stuck it on the lid, and now I know how to do it. So, a little plug, Jeff Turner is the man that designed this. This is the man that engineered this. He was a locksmith for 50 years, and he taught me how to use it and trained me, and this is what it entails. I'm not going to go through everything, but this is what it contains. It is absolute genius. That's all I can say. It is an amazing bit of kit. It was well worth every penny, and every zoo lock, every chubb lock, you can get in this in like 2 or 3 minutes. And I will check that there's a video on the site, and if there's not one, I will download the video that shows me using this, and you will recognise it because you will see me using this specific tool here with the pins from here in, and you'll see me picking the lock. I love it. It is my favourite bit of kit. It is the most successful bit of kit I've had, and it's genius. It is well worth every penny. You have to buy one. I love it. I really, really do. Right. Last thing for you today. Never ever throw away keys was the advice I was given. Okay, I've got a box. Never ever throw away keys. As you can see, these are specific keys. These are specific. Never thrown away keys. This is why you keep the cabinet ones and the suitcase ones, drawers and so on. But when you are going to a job, have a dedicated box for your keys that you no longer use. If you are replacing a lock, keep the old keys. If the lock is broken, keep the old keys. I have actually got a box a bit bigger than this that contains about 60 locks with keys in as a second-hand one. So if I come to your house and you need a lock as an emergency, I have a whole variety of brands and sizes, finishes and metals, and I sell them cheap as a temporary or a permanent measure as a second-hand one. So if people can't afford new locks, if they're on a low budget, or you just need something to put in your door to make it safer, I have a whole collection. So these are the keys that have no purpose whatsoever. The locks have been broken, dissected, thrown away. Wherever they've gone, they no longer have a lock. But never throw them away. This is my small collection. And I'm sure my catchphrase now is going to be, you never know when it's going to come useful. But you don't know when one of these is going to come useful. A lot of these are padlock keys, so really easy to pick. You have disc detainer locks here. You have a Lagarde safe lock key. This is for training and learning for me. Again, disc detainer locks. You have cabinet keys. This is a discontainer for a padlock. You have front door keys. A lot of these are front door keys, front door key, front door key, front door key, front door key. This was a padlock key. The padlock was appalling. It's hilarious. But you never know when one of these is going to be able to stick it in a lock or stick it in a door and be able to open it. You can use it for practice, you can use it for study, you can use it for training. You really don't know when anything's going to be useful. Otherwise, you can just familiarise yourself with them all, and there's a cruciform one here. You can familiarise yourself with them, learn the patterns, learn the cut, learn the style. That's an era, I think. Potentially it is. So you can learn about them and you can teach yourself all about keys. Never throw keys away. You don't know they're going to be useful. Get some heel toes that we showed you here. I've had a little sample that I've put tags on here just as tryout keys. It also helps me get familiar with what keys go with what locks. So if somebody has a random key and goes, oh, I have a key, I don't know what it belongs to. If I'm learning, I go, that's a CIO key, and I would know what sort of lock that would open. So that's it. This is my Mortice lock key collection. These are my random keys. But as I say, the next thing I would recommend for you, case keys or these sort of keys, and cupboards, cabinets, bureaus, old furniture, old antique keys. Just save them all. Save car keys. You never know when that might be useful, because as you can see, it is similar to the Volkswagen Audi Group key, and this is in fact a VW key, and you never know when you could use that as a jiggler to get in somebody's car for them if they are stuck. So that's it. I hope you found this interesting. This completes the training that I'm going to do with you on keys, and I really hope that you're enjoying these videos. I try not to make them too long, but there is lots of stuff to cover, and I think some of these have real essential elements to them. So enjoy your lockpicking. Please do send any questions and queries and comments, and if you need any tips or tricks, then please let me know and I will be happy to help. But for the locksmiths, buy the Fire Brigade keys. They're on Amazon. It's ridiculous. I don't know why. It's a real security risk for this country. Get the different types of keys that will do the break glass units, because you never know when that could be helpful to assist somebody, reset something, lock something, activate it or deactivate it. Save all your other keys and maybe go and do a couple of courses and learn the importance of toe heels like this, and make some of your own. And you can get all of these different keys and you can actually make toe heels for all of them, put little individual tags on them, and then you've got a whole set of keys you can use for picking padlocks. The other one I couldn't think of is a Yale. Yale do a great big padlock. It's like this big. There's a battleship of a Yale. They are literally like this. They are massively heavy. They are really heavy duty. You'd find them on military places, and they are pickable where appropriate, but you'd need a toe heel and a metal strip, and the best way to do that is do a formal course, learn how to make them, learn how to shape them, learn how to pick them. That's it. I could go on forever, but I'm going to stop. So send comments, send questions, send queries, subscribe, sign up, and do come back. I'm really enjoying doing this with you, and I will put the little blue box tool video on YouTube so you can see it next. And what you'll have is a block of wood like this, which will be standing up, and it's one I made on a course, and you'll see me picking a lock in a block of wood that was specifically designed on the course I completed to be able to put the tool in and to be able to pick the lock open and show how easy it can be done when it's done properly. That's it. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.